You don't have these sort of random antenna of thought that are pulling you to and fro. Can you come back to the here and now in your essential channel? Begin to sense the places where you are connected to the ground beneath you. And I will say, as we did earlier this week, let's notice those sensations as a place of your intimate contact with the ground. So your direct experience, like sitting bones, the outer hips, maybe the tops of the shins or ankles. These are your immediate sensations. They tell you that you're here. This is your GPS. Now, when you inhale, you don't have to make the breath any more dynamic, but you can use the breath as it is. As you inhale, try to sense the larger sphere on which you are taking a seat. And the exhale, you can return your attention to these intimate sensations where you are right now rooted. We use the inhale to expand awareness, to sense that larger encompassing presence, the earth. And the exhale to return attention to the right here, right now sensations of you having support from the earth beneath you. Now, as you notice this movement between the most intimate and the most expansive, start using the breath and your attention like a dimmer switch or a volume knob. You're going slowly through the inhalation to the most expansive moment of attention, and then returning slowly through the exhale to the most intimate place of connection and sensation. And let yourself be aware of the terrain between the beginning of the inhale, the fullness of the inhale, and the terrain on the return back through the exhale. This is your physical terrain, your mental terrain, your awareness terrain that I'm referring to here. Now please put the palms together at your heart and follow your inhale that the arms can then stretch out. And the exhale that your palms can return. Again, about 5 times. Travel with the breath, with your body, with your attention all synchronized. Reach out to that most expansive place. You're going to touch the inhale, pause. And then exhale. Notice the terrain all the way back to the most intimate where you touch the exhale, pause. Do that one more time, please. And then hands at the heart. And we'll chant together. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands out over your knees, please, and make them firm. Press your knees down so that you're actually lengthening and toning the infrastructure of the body. And then with your inhalation, go upwards through your heart, your collarbones, open your throat, lift your chin. And exhale, curl down like a cat pose spine. Bring your chin in towards your throat and roll the deep belly inward towards your sacrum. And inhale to go back up. Start from the sitting bones, gliding back, and the spine vertebrae by vertebrae rising up. And exhale. So following your own pace right now, move smoothly through using the Ujjayi breath. Now, as you're moving through these actions, notice the outermost experience of the body, so the skin of your body, like where you feel the skin of your body is moving, how you sense the bony structure of the body is helping to move the musculoskeletal system, and how the musculoskeletal system is helping to move the bony structure of the body, how they work together. And this frontier of the skin and the myofascial system. When you pull up, what happens with your throat and the skin over the front of the neck? When you draw down and in, what part of the back body has to expand? And where do you notice that at the level of the skin? We'll do it twice more. You can sort of luxuriate in the sensations, the pace of the breath, and have the complete absence of any urgency or frenzy at all. And then rise up to your base seat, your homecoming seat, whatever that is. Great. So the seat that I'm sitting in is called Siddhasana. It's where you have the heels lined up like this. So it's a little bit wider base for the knees. If that's possible for you, go ahead and take a pose like Siddhasana. If there's a complication for your knees or hips, of course, you respect your body. One reason I want this wider base is that we're going to reach across, and I want the upper back to have reason to really open and expand. So if you can't do Siddhasana, you can also modify by how far you reach with the top hand over the bottom hand. And we're going to be adding this cat-cow spine here. Right, so place your hands out over your knees, make them both firm, and then inhale to raise up. Press the knees down. And exhale, curl down and draw the deep low belly in. Rise up to your center, your base seat. Cross your left hand over your right hand and make them firm there together. We're going to inhale, go up like a cow pose spine. And exhale, curl down and in using your cat pose spine. And notice how the skin of your body is responding. We have added a little twist here, mostly in the thoracic spine, but influencing the whole structure. You also have your hands together, which narrows the reach of the two arms. Notice how that influences your shoulder blades, your collarbones, the skin of the body when you go up, the fabric of the body when you're going down. One more time going up, please. And then exhale, return to your base seat, wherever that happens to be for you. Press the knees down and let's inhale to roll up again, opening your chest and your heart and your throat. And exhale, curl down. Pull the knees down so the arms are taut as you round into your lower belly and your sacrum. And then up to your center seat, whatever that is. Cross your right hand over your left hand. Make them firm together here. And inhale up like your cow pose spine. And exhale to round. So lots of this position is actually fixed. You have, for example, your hips are on the floor, the legs are more grounded, we're not standing up. So there are fixed aspects to the pose. Notice how you move through that which is fixed and that which wants to seek movement or freedom, mobility. And how does the arm position shift your relationship to the skin across the back of your body? And this rising up quality, what happens here when the arms and hands are joined like this? Go down one more time into your cat pose spine, please. And then up one more time into your cow pose spine. And then return to center, to your base seat. And just try to sense really the outermost layer of your body. So the skin of the body. Okay, what's happening there now? What is waking up? And what does that invite from the innermost experience of your body? Now placing your hands on your shoulders. These are called kriyas when we do this sort of fast moving breathing thing. And kriya means like a cleansing action, a cleansing process. So placing your hands on your shoulders. We're going left, right with Kapalabhati. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. Place your hands over your knees. Inhale up to suspension. Release the bandhas and exhale. Relax your hands into your lap. And notice the skin of the body. So the outermost layer of the koshas. In our physical form, the outermost layer is the skin. The skin is our largest immune organ. And though it may not seem obvious, it does have a porous quality. What we put on the skin goes into the body. And we know that the skin can sweat when the body's getting overheated. The skin is also this illusory boundary. I like to call it an illusory boundary between us and the cosmos, or us and everyone else. We seem to think of our little skin suit here as all we are. At times we get, it's called mistaken perception. Let's repeat. And one of the aims of a yoga practice is to dissolve those illusions where we forget that we are that which is infinite, not just that which is finite. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Okay, left, right, please. Five, four, three, two, one. Now come to center. Hands over the knees. Inhale up to suspension. Press your knees down. Pull the inner body up. In your own timing, exhale completely. Rest your hands back in your lap. Okay, let's come over to table pose with blankets for the knees. And what I'm going to recommend, some of you have had your knee replacement experiences. So I'd like us to take the two blankets and stack them so that this edge of the blankets here is firmly stacked right there. And you're going to place the shins so your kneecap comes just past the edge of the blanket. And then please place a couple blocks for your hands. So this is for everyone. The setup that I'm describing is for everyone. It just happens to be that if you have had knee replacement surgery, it can be very uncomfortable to kneel directly on the kneecaps. So the hands can be for table pose on the two blocks. And I'd like you just to test drive the distance for you from where you are. If you go into child's pose from here, if your hips go back towards your heels, do the blocks feel like they're in the right spot? So you're not going to have to move your hands and feet. Okay, and then we're going to inhale, come forward to cow pose, lift your sitting bones. Exhale, in your cow pose, keep the pubic bone sliding back between the inner thighs, chest and heart coming forward. Sense the skin of the body. This is extension spine, so notice the skin on the front body, very different than the skin on the back of the body. And as you next inhale, press into cat pose and notice how the back body, skin, myofascial, musculoskeletal, how it receives cat pose. And I'm going to ask you to act a little bit like a cat and to press one paw down firmly and then the other while you're in cat pose. And notice when you press down with, let's say, your right hand, does the left knee get more grounded? When you press into your left hand, what happens with the right knee? Notice how your body roots automatically in this sort of cross angle horizontal pattern. It's called a cross crawl. And press into both hands equally. And let's exhale to child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Pubic bone back, sitting bones up, chest and heart forward. Now inhale, slide forward to seal pose. Your kneecaps do not need to touch the floor. The shins can stay on the blankets. And then cow pose. Press down with both hands. Good. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Cow pose, exhale. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, cow pose. Glide back with your sitting bones, press into your hands. Inhale to cat. Notice the back of the body receiving the actions, the bones, the breath, the muscles. Exhale, child's pose. Last time through, inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, seal pose, hips forward, shoulders back. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat. This is the last time through. Exhale, child's pose. Now roll forward to plank pose. Curl your toes under and lift your shins off the two blankets. And when you come to plank pose, gaze down between your thumbs. With your feet, isometrically press your feet towards each other to activate the inner thighs. Tone the low belly. And breathe into the back hemisphere of your body as if the breath could sort of float the back body up a bit, like when you fluff the bed covers and you get air underneath them. Keeping your left leg long and strong. Exhale, squeeze your right knee up between your elbows. Inhale, step back to plank. Right leg strong. Exhale, squeeze your left knee forward. Inhale to plank. And now exhale, reach backwards. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Press into both hands on the blocks and step over your blanket, please. Step forward with both feet into Uttanasana. With your heels and toes grounded, inhale, sweep your arms wide. Rise up to upward hands pose. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Surya namaskar, inhale, raising up. Exhale, chair pose. In chair pose, let's have a combination of the cat pose spine towards the lower back and the cow pose spine towards your upper back. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose, root down into your feet, raise up through your gaze. And then exhale, sweep your arms wide, bow forward and come down to the most intimate part of the breath, the exhale pause. Inhale, glide forward. Notice the skin of your front body. This is like a cow pose spine. Exhale, take the left toes way back past the blanket. Touch your left shin down to the blanket so the kneecap is not compromised. And inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana. And follow your exhale to come down. Place your hands firmly on the two blocks. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot forward and right shin down so the kneecap is not compromised. Inhale, rise up, anjaneyasana. Notice the skin on the front of the body, the back of the body. When you exhale, sweep the arms wide, come down and touch the blocks firmly. Inhale again to plank pose. Okay, now exhale to cow pose. Point the toes. Inhale to seal pose. Your kneecaps are just past the front of the blankets. And exhale down to low cobra pose. Energize the legs. Inhale up to high cobra pose. Then exhale up to seal pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then exhale, one big step forward, second big step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, urdva hastasana. And exhale, hands to your heart. Now drop your mind down into your footprints and just feel the skin of your feet feeling the floor beneath you. Recognize again, this is your little finite footprints on the planet, on the earth. Let your attention expand outwards to encompass the sphere on which you are standing. So if possible, just a totally natural breath, but if possible, inhale. You sense that expansive And on the exhale, sensing the intimate. You root down, energize your leg muscles, and do that slowly, like you're turning on a dimmer switch. So you start to sense the skin and the muscles, the connective tissues into the bones. All of that we would put in the realm of the annamayakosha, the outermost sheath of the koshas. Let the breath come down into your body, the pranayamas, communicating with the annamayakosha. And inhale, ujjayi, raise up, urdva hastasana. Exhale, reach out, knowing that who you are is beyond the skin and the structure of the body. But as we bow to the legs, we do give gratitude that this is the body we have to live in. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, take the left toes back behind your blanket again. So the toes are down, touch your left shin to the floor. Inhale, rise up to anjaneyasana. Press your left shin down against that blanket. Raise up, and as you exhale, open your chest, your heart, and your arms. Turn your palms to face out. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sweep out. Once more, inhale, rise up. And exhale, sweep out as you come forward and down. Now I'd like you to touch the blocks with your fingertips, curl the left toes under, and slowly straighten your left leg, and then your right leg. Great. And you can bow over your right thigh. Now place your hands, once you get into your position, your palms can be more firm on the blocks. You can also pull the blocks back if you want them to be closer. And I'd like you to press into the hands and make like a cat pose spine over your right leg. And then exhale, your cow pose spine over your right leg. So we are using the inhale to go to cat pose. Part of the reason that I do that is to have you have to be fresh with your attention, because it's different than how you probably learned it 20 years ago. But I also appreciate that on the inhale into cat pose, we're trying to broaden the back of the body. So think of the skin between the top of your sacrum and your floating ribs. And on the exhale for cow pose, I want you to focus on toning the inner belly and opening the skin over the chest, heart, and throat. So when we do cow pose spine, we're not getting there with an inhale that's mostly in the upper chest. We're getting there with an exhale that's toning the low belly. Let's do one more time. Inhale to a cat pose spine here. And exhale to a cow pose spine. Bend your right knee and please step backwards to plank pose. Inhale. Okay, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, left foot forward and right shin down. Okay, root down through the top of your right shin. Inhale, rise up, anjaneyasana. And exhale to open. When you stretch the arms out, turn your palms to face out. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, open out. Inhale, rise up. Last one. And exhale, wide circle. Come forward with your torso. Bring your fingertips to the blocks first. Curl the right toes under. Straighten your right leg and then your left leg. I know your hamstrings and legs are having their own events, and I'm here talking about your cat and cow spine. Let's proceed. If you can place your palms firmly on the blocks. Inhale to your cat pose spine. Root your tailbone down. Exhale to your cow pose spine. Glide your heart forward. Inhale to cat. And exhale to cow. So both are valid, inhaling or exhaling to cat or cow. They're both valid. Just know your purpose when you're doing certain practices with your body and yoga. As you move through, notice how you stay fresh with your attention. And this relationship you can have with the skin of your body, the outermost layer of who we see ourselves to be. When you next come to cow pose, I'd like you to firm up the hands, bend your left knee, and then step with your inhale to plank pose. You exhale to cow pose itself. Place your shins on your blankets. And then inhale, come forward to seal pose. Exhale, low cobra pose. Keep your arms steady. Inhale, high cobra pose. The elbows are still bent a little bit. And then exhale up to seal. Inhale, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. One big step over the blankets, second big step over the blankets. Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Urdva. And exhale, hands to the heart. And close the eyes and rest your attention down at your feet once again. It's a place for your thinking mind to land. You can also recognize there's a quality, potentially quite a bit of this quality of aliveness to the feet, sensing the ground. And this tiny footprint that each of us is making on a much larger sphere. Kind of incomprehensible, really. And release your hands. Please take a wide stance. You can make the feet parallel to start. So at every layer of the chakras going up and down, we also have the koshas. So at the first chakra, the root chakra, the base, Muladhara, you have all 5 koshas there also. Second chakra, all 5 koshas. Third, like this. So there's a concentric and intimate model, and then there's this vertical plumb line also. And at the root chakra, we have this imperative to survive, which we as a species do by being dependent upon others, our tribe, our care providers. We are also dependent upon the entire ecology that produces food and water and such, the sustenance for this organism to exist. And the outermost layer of the koshas is the skin, for our physical body, the skin, myofascial system, and then going deeper, there's all these layers of who we are, even in the physical body. That outermost layer, we see it, we don't all know what's underneath there. Muscles, connective tissue, we have a sense where the bones are, but we may not even know the names of these things. It doesn't matter, as one of my teachers, Catherine Ingram, said, a rose with no name at all still has the fragrance of a rose. So don't worry if you don't know the names, but I do want you to get a sense of the curiosity, like, isn't it amazing that your body was structured, that this particular species keeps getting designed with relative consistency? So does this species. Hi. Yeah. Okay, so with your wide stance, we're going to come down and repeat something from the other day, from Monday morning, I think it was. So come over the tops of your thighs, press the heels of your hands on the tops of your thighs. I have a passenger now. Hi, good morning. You're going to be okay there? Okay, so this is prasarita Slide your hands out over your ankles. And just as we held the knees firmly earlier in our practice, if you can, hold the backs of your ankles. Lengthen your spine, reach through the crown of your skull. Make the arms and the legs firm for right now. Deep breath in. Don't think how close can you get to the space between your legs at the moment. Think more of the length of the spine. Straighten your arms. Keep it a little bit taut. Breathe in again. Good, then exhale, and let's place the hands up on the two blocks. And what I'd like you to do is turn your left heel out quite a bit and turn your right toes to the right directly. So like you could say 180 to the right. Take your two blocks with you and walk around to bookend your right foot. When I say bookend, what I mean is your bracketing is another word you might say. You've got the two blocks on either side of your right foot. And now bend your right knee directly over your right heel. Notice when you glide your right knee forward, what happens in the skin and the muscles and the bones of your left leg? How do you keep the back foot grounded? Not just with sheer mental will, but with some elegance in your attention. Now press into your right big toe, pinky toe, inner heel, outer heel, and really aim your right knee to shine straight on with the third toe. Sweep your attention up the outer shin, up to your outer thigh, and bring your attention to your outer right hip and your right sitting bone. Yeah, hi honey. Don't knock that over, please. Yeah. How's your morning? Chasing flies, listening to birds, eating all the good things. Yeah. Okay, so as you guys keep your right hip steady, especially the outer right hip, let's put both blocks on the inside of the right ankle. Now lengthen your right inner thigh. Sweep your awareness around your outer right hip and thigh. And keeping your right leg steady, walk your blocks again a little bit to the left. Lengthen the inseam of the right leg. You can notice that starting in the upper inner groin. Keep your right foot steady and the outer right hip enthusiastic. Walk your blocks again to the left. Notice what it requires right now for you to pay attention, to keep your mind and your body working together. Like what quality of concentration is required to collaborate with your body right now. Walk your blocks one more time to the left. Take your right hand up against your right knee and give a little pressure out into your inner thigh, out to the inner knee. And then release your right hand from your knee. See if it can sustain that on its own. And take a little journey of your blocks to the right. Again, blocks to the right. One more time, blocks to the right. Notice what's changing with the pelvis as you come around, and you're going to bookend or bracket the right foot again. Okay, let's pivot the left heel up and step back to plank pose. And notice the circulation now going down your right leg. That's a deeper layer of the koshas, the circulation in the pranayamas. And then reach into downward facing dog pose. Let's do the other side of the sequence. Step your right foot forward, pivot back to prasarita. I'm sorry you didn't get to stay there as long as you wanted. Okay, turn your right heel out. Turn the left toes completely to the left and bracket your left foot with your blocks. Okay, and then bend your left knee. And notice what's required for you to bend the left knee without uprooting your right foot. You might even be aware of the skin of the upper inner thigh or the skin around the outer part of your right shin or the sole of your right foot. Keeping the left knee shining straight on. Put your blocks on the inside of your left ankle, but not on the cat's tail. And bring awareness to the outer left shin again and the outer left thigh. So you can hug the left outer hip towards the center line. Walk your blocks in slightly to the right. Keep the upper inner right thigh long and open. Notice, again, the skin in the upper inner groin reaching out to your left knee, excuse me. Another step with the two blocks. Some of the important qualities that we need in our tribe are things like, how do we concentrate? How do we collaborate? Walk your blocks in one more time and really notice how your body and your mind and breath are collaborating right now. Place your left hand up against the left knee. We also need the qualities of endurance, stamina, sensitivity, discernment. Keeping your left leg honest, place your left hand back on the blocks. Walk the blocks a tiny bit to the left again, little step. Check in with the upper inner right thigh. Take another step with the blocks. Walk around towards your left foot. Do not put the blocks on the cat's tail. And then bookend your left leg. Okay, and place both hands firmly and step backwards to plank pose, noticing the circulation that's going to go down your left leg. We have skin and myofascial muscles, connective tissues, bones. Oh, circulation, the circulation pathways. And inhale backwards to downward facing dog pose. And step your left foot forward, turn once more to prasarita. Please put the blocks aside. As you curl down this time, reach back to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Roll the shoulders open. Tone the muscles of your legs. Go from your feet up into your seat. Okay, rise up to standing, please. See, I trim their nails, and what's happening is she doesn't have enough nail to harm me, and she also doesn't have enough nail to get up. So she's sliding down. Like a little kitten, imperative is to climb, and she's gotten her nails trimmed, so yeah. So sorry. It makes everybody's life easier in this house. You're not harming yourself or your brother with your nails. Okay, let's go heel toe to center, please. And now I'd like you to have a couple blankets, a chair. Yeah, I'm sorry, those nails are too short. Now, I'm going to turn my blanket sideways like this. Please take a seat on your blankets. Your chair is going to be in front of you like this. Okay, take a wide seat like so. Now, for some of us, the chair is going to seem like irrelevant because like I could put my head on the floor, but I'm going to ask you to use it because it's purposeful what we're going to do with the arms here. For others, there's going to be a consideration for the knees, that you don't hyperextend your knees. If you are having that consideration, you can bend the knees. Or you can roll up things to put under the back of the knee here in this position. And for some people, the pelvis in a kind of upavista position doesn't come forward. It's the design of your femur into your hip joints. In that case, also bend the knees. Give yourself the chance to have this pelvic flexion, please. And then come forward. And please walk your hands out over the seat of the chair. If possible, rest your forehead on the front edge of the chair. If that's really uncomfortable, please put a blanket or some sort of support there. Root down with your kittens. No, I mean root down with your sitting bones. Keep some attention down on your legs, not because there are strong sensations there, but as a place of rooting or grounding. Place your attention down on your legs. Root into your sitting bones, your tailbone. Energize your hamstrings. Press down with the back of your calves, the backs of your heels. And see if you could sense the inhale making a little cat pose spine across the lower back, like you're just broadening the top of the sacrum into the kidneys and the adrenals. And can the exhale encourage a little bit of your cow pose spine for your upper back? And then walk your hands back to the front edge of the chair. Rise up to sitting and place the soles of your feet together. All these temptations for you. The soles of the feet together, and let's walk forward again. Reach the arms high up over the seat of the chair. And give a place for your forehead to be supported. And if you don't come that far forward, one option is to do what I've done there is I actually lifted the back legs of the chair. Another option is to put a block or a blanket on the chair seat. You can glide yourself back, come upright, and let's take these two blankets and fold them into a little yoga bolster. 1, 2. Please fold your blankets neatly. You don't want lumps in the situation. Place your hips. Roll into position. And take your feet and legs up over the chair. And I did tip the front of my chair now up. Take the arms out so your palms go face up, please. Close your eyes and let's begin Shavasana by relaxing the skin of the outer body. Imagine even the skin of the hands, fingers, and thumbs. The skin over your toes, between the toes, the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet. Soften the skin over your calves and shins. Your wrists and forearms. Relax the skin over your elbows and your knees. And your upper arms and thighs. Relax the skin over your shoulders, hips and pelvis. And then down to the torso. So across the chest, the heart, the abdomen, the skin of the upper back, mid back, lower back. And over your neck and your throat, your face and your head. As you relax the skin of your body, remind yourself that it's an illusory boundary between you and the world around you. We are not separate. We cannot be contained by nor defined by the size of our bodies. Now the next layer in the koshas, the myofascial system. Just imagine this communication between the skin and the muscles, the first layer of the muscles of your body. Imagine they're right now communicating since you just had your yoga practice. It's the first layer of muscle and the outer layer of the skin are communicating back and forth through the myofascial pathways. We want there to be a healthy glide, a healthy suppleness so the communication can happen. And start relaxing the next layer of muscles in your body. Some of the medium and larger size muscles may come to awareness. And as you release the muscles, start noticing the joints and imagine there's connective tissue that lets the muscles adhere to the bony structure of the joints. Allow that too to be at ease. Release any unnecessary tension or holding in the joints of your body. This could be the obvious joints, shoulders and hips, elbows and knees, but also the tiny joints between finger knuckles or the bones of the ankle. And deeper than the annamayakosha is pranayamas. And you might sense, even as you're resting, a kind of shimmer or an effervescence, I sometimes call it. At other times, I'll call it this pulsation, because you can sense there's an energy. Though your body is still, the energy continues to move. And deeper than the annamaya, deeper than the pranayamas, the layer of the senses, deeper than that, an indwelling wisdom, and deeper yet than that, and pervading everything and everyone. This is what we call ananda, love or grace. Bliss is sometimes the word that's used. At that innermost, we know we are not limited to the skin of the body. The shape of our physical form cannot define us. It doesn't contain us. yet it is ours to steward and to care for, just as the entire earth is. Now, keeping your awareness intimate to your experience, please give a little wiggle to your fingers and your toes. Slide your knees towards your chest. Roll down to your side. And return to your seat. I have to find my seat amongst the kittens. When you come to your seat, again, take the seat that can be the most grounded for you. So for me, that's the seat that is actually closest to the ground, the least amount of support for my hips and pelvis. You have to make your own choice in that regard. Rest your hands in your lap, one palm in the lap of the other. And see if you can sense simultaneously this. You do have a physical body and it does have a certain density and it needs certain kinds of care. And that is known to us at the level of the root, the Muladhara. But we also sense we are not limited to this physical form. Now placing in the center of your palms an intention you can have for how you'll care for this physical form today so that it doesn't distract you or obscure the view of that which is you and beyond you. How will you care for your physical form today? And how will you take care of your skin? Might be just one question. How will you care for your skin? Placing that intention in the centers of your palms. So inhale, raise that up to the heart. And place that in your heart. Choosing an action that you can express your dedication or your tapas, your follow through. That's a very important part of yoga. So sense you're installing this intention in your heart, and you will follow through on your intention to care for the skin of your body or for your physical form. Then place that in your palms in Anjali Mudra. Now we make our commitment also to each other. So you can bring your head to the thumbs to the sixth chakra. How each of us cares for ourselves is very important as to how we also care for each other. And bring that back down into your heart. And make it an offering. Open the palms and send this commitment outwards so we also see each other's commitment. It's really helpful to know that you live in a community or in a tribe where people are caring for themselves and learning to care for each other. And you bring that back into your heart. Place it once again. And bring it down. Establish it at the root. Asatoma satkamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Namaste.